TWR Monday Madness. What is up, team? Chuck with Traders War Room, and I'm back at you with another video. This is your Monday Madness video, and I got a great one for you. But real quick, I want to highlight something we just activated. TWR All Access on the Discord platform now has a 2-day trial so that you can try us out. We've never done a trial before because we've gained over 1,000 members just based off of our merits and our legit way that we go about, pushing alerts, processing information, and customer service. But with the market so volatile here recently, there's a lot of people on the fence, and we want to increase our ranks. And in order to get some new TWR market warriors, sometimes you got to give a little. So I'm giving you guys that 2-day trial so you can come on the platform, see what we're about, realize that we're one of the legit guys out there. There's a whole bunch of crap out there, man, but we're one of the legit ones. And I think after 2 days of the platform, you'll see that we are legit, and you'll want to stay and become a true bona fide TWR market warrior. So definitely in the description below is the link so that you can get spun up on there. Take advantage of it because it's not going to be there forever. I'm not going to keep the 2-day trial up there forever. Come check us out, try us out, and then I know that you guys will love what we provide and you'll want to stay part of the team. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. And as always, if you're ready, you follow me and let's go to war together, Team Traders War Room, baby. Let's get it right now. The market is our war zone and stocks are the battle. Join TWR and let's go to war. Stay tuned at the end for new upcoming events. How's TWR doing thus far? Let's look at this Apple swing trade that we ended up carrying over the weekend. Guys, we entered at 55. We exit today at 120. That's good for $65 per contract. Had a killer trade on SPY. We entered that 395 call, 115, great entry, exited out at 180, brought the stop loss up at break even. That's a risk-free trade, good for $65 per contract. We were able to capitalize on some upward momentum with Snap. Snap's been dinging around since TikTok is kind of in question. We entered this at $1. We exit today at 147. That's good for $47 per contract. And the big mamma jamma, man, Tesla on the move, we go ahead and capitalize. Entered at 190, exited today 368. Guys, that is a huge come up of 178 per contract. Obviously, you move that stop loss up above break even, and that creates that risk-free trade, baby. And if crypto's trending, we're going to absolutely kill that as well. Look at this trade. SHIB went ahead long on this one, 54%. Now SHIB's cheaper than a lot of the other ones out there. So, 54% doesn't really matter. But the amount of money that you put in is good to go. You dump $1,000 in at 54%. You can do the math. You already know that's a come up. And we got them AI bots, guys. Machine learning bots that are pushing out that fire. Look at these two trades right here. Came in at 940, Apple and Disney. I'm going to show you the charts just so you can see what the trades would have made if you got into them with the signals. And if you follow the alert, look at this trade right here. Boom, in orange is where the signal came. Bam, purple, where you could have trimmed out on high. Guys, that's a $2 move on the underlying asset. If you're doing derivatives or options, you're making huge bank. And if you're doing shares, as long as you got enough shares, you're making a decent come up. And Disney, same deal as before, guys. Orange where the alert came in, purple's where you could have trimmed out on the high. That's over $1 movement on the underlying asset. You're in options, you making killer money. You're in shares, you're still making money. It's all good either way. And look, it stayed above the entry point the entire day, even on a dramatic pullback. We truly have something for everyone at TWR. $100 to $1,000 per day is possible when you're a TWR market warrior. So quit wasting money. That's not making money. Join TWR. The links are in the description. Stocks I like for trades. Here's some upcoming earnings. Anything with the green boxes means it has my attention, and we're definitely looking for potential trades. Here's your top trending tickers, and these are the top 20 that everyone's trying to watch and see if they can make some dramatic moves and make some money. Let's start off with SPY, guys. We're playing SPY pretty tight right now because FOMC is on Wednesday, so this can go either way. But we're looking at the top line trigger, 394.80. Anything above that, we'll consider going long, and looking at 392.10. Anything below that, thinking for continuation to the downside, but being very cautious. And if we're intraday trading SPY, we're playing it straight off the moving averages and following the trend. Everybody wants to get some skin in the game with the banks. So let's talk about XLF. Listen, individual stocks on the banking sector are extreme volatility right now. But you can play the ETF and take out some of that volatility crunch. We're looking for calls above 31.50 and puts below 30.90. You can be a little more conservative if you want and go 30.75 for puts to the downside. However, XLF is a little safer option to get some skin in the game during this banking volatility so that you can make some decent returns. Let's look at Nike, okay? This is a risky trade because they got earnings coming up, but I think they get a decent run into earnings, and I would not be surprised if they actually have some decent earnings, specifically with China opening up. Foot Locker, they didn't have bad earnings. Their forward guidance was poor. I don't think Nike is going to make the same mistake. I think the earnings are good. I think the forecast is good. I think these guys can potentially gap up on their way towards that 130 mark. When we push out the chart and look a little further out, we definitely see some of the pressure to the upside that we could get some follow through. Now, we also see it to the downside as well. 116 is very possible on some poor earnings. However, I do think that we're going to get a surprise, and I think we're going to get some decent forward guidance, and I think we push higher. So with that said, let's get you guys a TWR free alert on this Nike trade. All right, and here's the trade I'm going to look for. I'm going to look at this 130 call pushing out to 31 March. This is a little further out the money than I usually like to go. However, the premiums are juiced and the volatility is high. So I do like the volume on this. I like the delta over the theta ratio. That's okay. We're looking to try to get into this closer to the 215 area rather than the 230 area. If we start to peak above that 230 area, we may want to hold and pause for a little bit and make sure that the momentum is on our side. But definitely, this is the contract that I think will do us fairly well, and especially if we get those great earnings like I'm hoping that we get, and we get some forward guidance that's bullish, this thing will just absolutely explode, and we should be able to get continuation into the next trading session and make some decent money. On the opposite side of the house, if we're feeling that the Bears are going to win this one and we start to get a little uneasy feeling, specifically with some of the analysts that are pushing some of the reports or some information that we might get going into earnings, definitely looking for the 110 put, same expiration date, and we like the volume on it. Also, the delta and theta ratio is right at par, so that's okay. Usually you want the delta higher than the theta. It's really risky when your theta is higher than the delta, but we can go ahead and rock this one because premiums are juiced, implied volatility is juiced, and this thing is looking to rock. I don't usually like to play the meme stocks, but I got one for you guys in case you're one of those meme players that was on that GME and that AMC ape type of movement and diamond hands and whatever. We're looking at GameStop. They got earnings coming up. We're looking at that 1734. We can be a little more conservative if we want, 1750 for the call side of the house. We could even go 1725 if it wouldn't be a little risky. And we're looking at 1650 for the put side of the house. But you know what? I'm feeling a little risky, so let's go ahead and give you all another free trade alert. Man, I haven't played GameStop for a while, so let's go ahead and see what we got. All right, for you bulls out there, if you guys are feeling bullish on GameStop and we start to look like that top line is triggering, we're going to look at this $18 call. We're pushing out into April 21st, guys. We want to give this time to mature, especially if we're getting into a volatile type of trade. We're looking to get into this thing, 165, 170. We like the volume. Delta to theta ratio is fantastic, and this should be a decent play if we get that bull momentum to make us some money. And if we're feeling that the Bears are winning this race, we're going to go ahead and look at this $15 put. Same expiration date, man. We're pushing out into April. The premiums are not that juiced up. we're definitely in range of some decent price here. We like this at 120, maybe 125 too, especially if we get some of that downward momentum. But we like the volume. The delta to theta ratio is extremely nice, and this one should play out if we get the bullish signals. So you got a bear situation, you got a bull situation. Either way you look at it, man, just like with Nike, we trying to make some money off of GameStop. All right, we're looking at PDD. Now, I'm not really bullish on these Chinese names. However, this thing likes to move and shake. So we got the top line trigger at the 82.25. We got that bottom line trigger at 76.50. I would wager and I would bet that we'll probably get another leg down on this particular ticker. Specifically, China is just not friendly right now in the stock market. We already had a huge leg down. It's kind of consolidating within an outside bar and kind of getting tighter. It's making a decision on what direction it wants to go. Usually from this type of pattern, if you're going off of candlesticks and chart patterns, you usually get a little bit of a jump and then another decline down. We're watching DAL as one of the airlines. It recently has been on a downward trend. We're kind of consolidating here at the bottom, making a boot. It's rejecting off of that bottom trigger pretty decent, but we want to make sure that we're set up for success going both ways. So we're looking for that 33.75 trigger to the upside, and anything below that 32.50 area, we might consider some puts. However, DAL doesn't like to stay low that long, and when it pushes, it likes to push violently. So unless there's a huge catalyst that's keeping this thing down, I think that will probably reject from the bottom level and see some upward momentum. So I'm more bullish on this particular one than bearish. And finally, we're going to talk about Amazon. We got the top line trigger at 98.50, bottom line at 96.50. Nice outside bar, and with Amazon talking about cutting rates, that should inspire some investors to hop back in, because the return on investment as far as margins are concerned get a little bit easier, especially with workforce being less. So we'll see what happens with this one, but I got a feeling that we're going to see a little bit of a push. And even if we get an eventual downward swing, we'll probably go up and retest those $100 levels to see if we can hold them. That's it, team. Don't forget, we got that 2-day trial, so join the team and be a TWR market warrior with truly something for everyone. Why not join and try TWR out? The link is in the description. I'll see you on the trading floor. Let's go to war together.